Welcome everybody back to our stream. Alright, let's do it. Not very awake yet here. Monday morning is my favorite. Monday morning is my favorite streaming time. Yeah. Alright. No comments about the hair. Alright, I need a haircut. And I didn't brush my hair. I look like a chess player, basically. Alright. We've got the simul recovery stream. I don't know, man. It does something to my brain when I play simuls. The rating has dropped to 23-29. But not the all-time low. We're not there. World Senior. Astrobate, what's up? We've got to get our points back. Alright. World Senior, 50 days. Actually, I had a definite date on that. Calendar. Where's my calendar? Adjusting time. I don't know. I don't know. Everything is too difficult. What's up? I don't know. I don't remember it. October 20 something. Let me see. October. That's the month after September, right? I didn't write it in the calendar? Wow. I didn't put it in the calendar. The appointment book, that's weird. Really? Really slacking here. Lacking and slacking. Alright, let's just play some puzzles or something. Practice. Checkmate patterns. The skewer, yum. Skewers. Let's see what happens if I do one of these. The X-ray. Boop. Next. X-ray. This is an X-ray? Really? How is this an X-ray? I don't get that this being compiled under X-ray category. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Alright. I like these. These are easy. Easy puzzles are the best. This is sort of an X-ray. No. Not really. Whatever. X-ray. Call it what you want to call it. These are sort of nice. Elegant there. Yeah. That's really hard. Theatrical. I don't know, I had a rough wake up this morning. I just can't get my mind in gear. Bishop G7, Queen G7. The Queen Gs. Yeah, I'm not seeing this one. Why? Why am I not seeing this one? Queen G7. That's a nice move. That's why I'm not seeing it. Okay. Rook. F8 rook will do the trick. Success. I'm good at X-rays. Usual. Welcome. Intermediate tactics. Advanced tactics. I need basic rook endings. Practical rook endings. This is a big fat draw, bro. Equalize in 30 moves. Wow. Why am I getting that green arrow showing h5 here? Why is it showing that? What is that? Blindfold. It doesn't show the... Okay, so it won't show the engine even if you wanted to. Hide the best move. Dude, is h5 the engine best move suggestion? Not the Sir again. Suriname. Yeah, I'm on the fence about h5. I'm sure that it's playable, but this is a tricky position because the king is cut off. I would, think white would have some practical chances. Right, anyway. Well, anyway, we don't have any opponents, so I gotta stop sitting like that. Overloaded pieces. Duh. Wait, turn off the engine, bro. Why is the engine turned on? How do I turn that off? I don't want to see the eval. Oh no, the classic. I have to make more moves here? Serious? Back crank. Overloaded pieces, you say? Oh, that overloaded pieces. Blundered. Oh, queen takes g7. Oh no, what's that? It's like a phone sound or something. Is anybody here? Astrobate, welcome. What the hell is that? Oh, sorry. My camera was in the wrong place. Not my camera, the Panda camera. It was just like staring some random part of the room. All right, yeah. Overloaded pieces. I win the queen in this variation. That's why, because you got queen h7 at the end. How does this work? Like rookie 8 check? Damn it. Queen d7. That's the tough one. I don't like that it shows the evaluation. How do I turn that off? Oh, I've got 2 challenges. Alpha. And I only played for fun. Alright. Alpha challenged me 10-0, which I normally don't play, but it's fine. I mean, for this one exception. We're normally doing 10 plus 5. I mean, 7 plus 5. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get comfortable. I need a new pillow or something. This chair is starting to really bug me. Alright, I need... Sparkle Horse is streaming. Okay, this we have to remember that I don't have increment, and we normally don't accept these challenges, but I'll make an exception. Just for you. Am I going to keep playing this crap? I don't have a good score with the Queen's Indian Accelerated. But I don't know, every time I seem to get an interesting position. I don't have a good score with it, yet I'm not losing in the openings. So I don't know really what to do about it. Yeah, White's just playing like a really quiet way here. E6. E6, C5, knight A6 transposes to like a rady reversed. Knight A6 with the idea of is also possible. Alpha 11. Yeah, increment is better because we can talk more about the game. With 10 minutes, I just have to kind of go, you know? I have to go masturbate. No time to screw around. If I play C5 here, is knight B5 good? Probably not. Definitely not. Yeah, the one of the games I resigned yesterday was like a totally symmetrical rady with white. Black's winning a pawn here. I don't understand. I must be missing something. You think he has some kind of compensation? Take, bishop c3. Bishop b7, bishop g7, king g7. Or I could take, bishop c3, bishop takes. That doesn't work. See, there's like a trick. Now, here's the conclusion. Maybe, yeah, it's right to take the pawn. But he does have some compensation. My other option is to not take the pawn and play a Benoni. I mean, there's an argument that that's, like, better chances for black to win. He might have enough compensation to kind of neutralize my position here. Yeah, that's surprising. I mean, I don't know why white wouldn't play knight takes knight and bishop c3. Rook c1 is very surprising. It's a bad move. White is like lost, completely lost now. Probably I shouldn't exchange knights. I would say he's just absolutely, completely lost. Yeah, Miro, right. See, knight d5, bishop d5, bishop c3, bishop b7, bishop d6. I mean, bishop g7, king g7, queen d6 or something. It feels like he has kind of like positional pressure, like a Mora or something on the file. It might be really annoying for black to play for a win there. Like, I have no chance of losing, but at the same time, winning might be really... The position might be really difficult to win. So there's a lot of situations like that come up where, you know, it seems counterintuitive, but you probably shouldn't take the material. It happened yesterday in a Tarash position where I could take the opponent's isolated pawn, and I think a lot of cases where you do that is bad. A lot of times the isolated pawn's not going anywhere, so we shouldn't really be in a rush to take it necessarily. This is a bad game by white for his rating. He's about as awake as I am for the morning sound. Now d4. The idea of d4. Knight e6, knight c7, knight e6. Is that just fancy chess we're talking about now? I'm playing fancy chess. Overload. X-rays. Here, I wanted to put my knight on e6 to support d4. I think I'm being too fancy. The right move would probably be knight to c6. Fancy chess syndrome. Ah, knight b5. Okay. Right. Well, all right. Now I'm gonna come in for a visit. Visitors from another planet. I regret 96 to some extent here. Karpov. Another Karpov reference. Mr. Coffee, thank you for being, a good sport and playing that tournament, not waffling. Move 11 waffled. He complained about commuting, and I get it, but it's like, he told me he was like playing for a draw against the 2200, and he like lost in 10 moves with white in the Run of the Pass. I was just talking about the fact there's only like 2 2200s in the whole open section, right? He had to have lost to Kernahan. I mean, who else? What other 2200 was there in the section? Did you see the open section? There was like 1 or 2 2200s. How do you lose with white in it? I mean, I don't mean to bash move 11, but how did he lose with white, in 10 moves in the Royal Pez? Can't have a bad attitude, guys. You gotta be confident. I mean, those of you who've played like hundreds of games against me should not be afraid of National Masters. I mean, that's my point. And nobody who's played like 100 games against me should be intimidated by a freaking international master who's like 2200. It's crazy. I mean, there's something different about playing over the board chess, I admit. The cozy internet is not available, but kind of felt bad. I only saw Kernahan. Maybe there was another 2200. You know what's amazing, though? Bangtown, California just donated 5 gift subs. That's amazing, too. But that's not what I was going to say. Bangtown, California gifted 5 gift subs to Pyrat, Nils, who I haven't seen in a long time, Thunder, T5, Dr. Trip Chance, and Chess Zebra. So you hit a lot of good regular viewers there. I'm pissed with Move 11 because, like, he's played massive numbers of training games against me, and he's battled me tough, and there's absolutely no reason to be afraid of a national master. It's just ridiculous. So, psychological. The psychological side of competing is really important. You got to be confident. The other thing, he made a mistake. He shouldn't have commuted 2 days. He should have stayed at done what you did. You went back once, right? You shouldn't even do that. I mean, if you guys can afford it, anybody who can afford it should always stay at the site of the tournament. I mean, I miss playing more than I do, but and don't take your friends and relatives. Told you I should have played knight c6. Alright, so Mr. Coffee's doing well. He's got 2.5 out of 4. But you got paired with an unrated after 3 rounds with 50%. That's pretty unusual. You're like making the cut there? That's how crazy the section is, right? I know about the CAD issues. I understand. So you're basically making the cut. You're getting like the lowest player in your point group. I mean, when you have like a relatively low rating in that section. With 50%, normally, well, I mean, I don't know. It's what, under 2,000, but that's what I said. There's nobody between 1,800 and 2,000. It's really strange. Mr. Coffee has an under 2,000 section where there's almost no players between 1,800 and 2,000. So it's effectively under 1,800, which was what it was in 1985. So if it's really an under 1,800 section, you're making the cut, I guess. And otherwise you wouldn't. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to play a6 yet. So I have a antidote. I like how this guy like dropped upon the opening, but then he's making life difficult. No, I think you simply made the cut, right? And you're playing the lowest rated player in the point group, who's quote unquote unrated. You don't know how you made 1.5. Well, I mean, honestly, people learning chess online have a lot of weird holes in their game, dude. That's the same reason why I'm like, sometimes I can't tell the difference between a 1200 and a 2000. Bangtown, California, very generous. Thank you. Another washing machine stream. All right. What the hell does that mean, man? Speak English. Or Turkish, but make it a language. Not weird innuendos. B5. Can I just ignore? Can I put people on the ignore list? There's a simple noise suppression filter you can add to quadruple your viewer count. Quadruple my viewer count, alright. I think you're exaggerating, but whatever. Ouch. Maybe it's just my laptop's fan or something. No one else is as militantly upset about it as you. So I'm not sure about the quadrupling my viewer count. I think you're just like, you're too sensitive. But it's normal, you're a chess player. I get it. I say look inside yourself. If things on the outside bother you, you should probably be looking inside yourself for the solution. It is inappropriate to just a plan in the comments. Sorry, is it inappropriate to just a plan in the comments? Plan for increasing noise suppression? There's a noise suppression plan. Noise suppression plans are welcome. Something weird about this guy's game, though. Speaking of Mr. Coffee, what Mr. Coffee just said. The other thing is like focusing on what's really important. G-South's the chess play. Are we here to be like streaming setup Nazis, or are we are we here to play, watch chess? Yeah, I mean, this guy is just, he's got the coordination going on. Despite being completely lost, he's got his pieces in groups. Grouping. Groupers. Pooper groupers. I just don't want the streaming setup Nazi stuff like first thing Monday morning. I'm more tolerant on other days. Monday morning is the worst. I'm really almost always in a bad mood. I feel like shit. I slept okay. I don't know why I feel like shit today. I didn't drink any alcohol last night. I slept pretty well. I still feel like shit. Maybe more exercise is the doctor's orders. I definitely need to exercise more. All right. Now D4. I, on the other hand, know how to make the viewer counts go down one by one. Good headphones. Mr. Coffee. Viewer counts are probably manipulated anyway. Damn it, I keep not working this out tactically. Aye. He was gonna get hit by 94, Bangtown. He, it, she, them. It's a weird player. It seems like their goal seems to be to play for time or something. That's why they set up the non-increment time control. He's got a massive amounts of blitz games, so probably plays a lot of 3-0. He played really badly, though. I mean, not to be, like, mean, but, I mean, seriously, for his rating, I just need, I need to adjust this time control. I don't normally play 10-0. It's a completely different animal than 7 + 5. It's sudden death, and that's changing the whole equation. But he dropped a central pawn after like 5 moves. And he's, alright, like 12 moves. But he's like 2200, like, blitz rating. That's weird. So, anyway, no, I mean, it's a winning position. Why should I, screw around and rush or whatever? Bishop g7, just getting the bishop back in the fold. I mean, it's not like a calculation thing so much as I want to play d4, but he's going to hit me with 94 there. That's basically what we're talking about. It seems like White's calculating stuff, despite appearances looking like not. Here's another example where it looks like he actually calculated this out. This doesn't even work. I guess I should have just taken it, not screwed around. Take. I screwed around here. Wow. Yeah, why didn't I just do this originally? I had some hallucination like he had bishop d6. It was weird that okay. I mean, tactically I'm not very alert in the AM. See, I don't want the gains to come down to sudden death bullet. I mean, that's really my issue. I'm down a queen. I thought I was winning, my bad. And he times out. This is like the biggest waste of time of my life. Like this game, seriously. Why don't you gift them to someone else who needs it? Alright, dude. You have great headphones with me. Built it. What? No, I mean, this is the worst game ever. He played badly, I played slow, he should have flagged me, and then he lost on time. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It was ridiculous. See, that's why increment is better. I mean, this is just garbage, man. Don't challenge me to 10+0. It's just a waste of time. It's fun for fun, you know, but it's a stupid time control for quality chess. I mean, sudden death is dumb. I mean, increment is way better. Period. End of story, you know. There's really no need for sudden death time controls. It's like, it should be like, you know, extinct at this point. The whole concept of it. Of course, if you're like Magnus Carlsen and you don't care about the quality of chess, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Alpha. Increment is evil. Of course you would, because you hate everything. Every single over-the-board tournament that exists is now like with increment, pretty much. So therefore, it makes a lot of sense for me to play like non-increment. It was like, it's stupid, you know. Hey, I'm gonna play some non-increment so I can like not adapt well to my over-the-board games. Yeah, we've had this a lot lately. The Simon Williams thing. One of my students was talking about playing it with black. Yeah, I always play the same line here with Queen C2. But it's nothing special. It's only about equal. Although, you know, I really should take a closer look at this with like respect to move orders and stuff. I think Sherrod Williams is rook b1. That's the game I go by. It is like 15 years old game. Maybe even older than that, but Simon was the first one to play like knight e4. Kind of establish it as a main line, where that was never the move in the old days. I studied this 30 years ago in some kind of encyclopedia, and it was always like the old school variations with black wouldn't play knight e4, he would just play like queen e8 or whatever. Always advance your doubled pawns. Or your undoubled ones. Deviled pawns. Yeah, maybe my move order is dubious here. What I like to do is think in positions I've played before, like Walter Brown. But I respected that about Brown. Like, he would, you know, most people don't do that. They just blitz out the moves, and even though he was a good blitz player, he would still, in new positions, I mean, even in not new positions, in positions he's played before, he would think, try to find new ideas over the board. I guess it's not practical. E4, it's late. It is late. E4 is possible, though. I did play that before. I only play for fun. I hate fun. I hate pawn structure. Apparently. So I have doubled pawns. Who the bleep cares? You know? What are you going to do about it? Similar to my game with Morales. Mr. 5-time. Walter was funny. I really enjoyed playing against him the few chances I got, and then hanging out with him later in life. The little bit of time I got to spend with him, I mean, I wasn't a West Coast player, and I never knew a lot of West Coast players, so I had very little exposure to Walter. But the little bit that I did have, I took a lot away from it, you know. He was an intense dude. The only thing about him that was tough was like he was difficult to converse with because he didn't really want to listen to other people. He would like just kind of talk, and he talked about what he wants to talk about. So I found it like a little difficult to have a normal conversation with him at times, but nevertheless, you know, he was a legend. Sorry that he passed away when he did. He wasn't that old. But I hadn't seen him since like 2003. We played in the same U.S. Championship in like 2003. 2002, I don't remember. That was like his last one probably. I don't know. He wasn't playing much chess. By then he was always like just playing like he was like a house player in some card room in California. He was playing poker all the time. He wasn't playing much chess. He always liked a lot of games. They said even back in like the Fisher era, he used to play Scrabble and stuff. He was a big games player. I'm not very good in Scrabble, although I probably could be if I had put some time into it. But whatever. Backgammon. No. What is wrong with my computer? It just like restarted. What the hell is it doing? But I just think of Brown because he's the only person I remember who would really, really, really use a lot of time. Early openings, like the Najdorf. Gingy told me the story where he glued down his pawn at the Olympiad. And I never knew for 100% if that was true or made up. But that was the story anyway. The Romans snuck into the tournament hall and glued down Walter's A pawn. So the next day when he ran to the board late, because he was late every freaking round, all his pieces went flying or something because he tried to pick up the whole board because the A pawn was glued down to the board. Walter came in late and tried to play the Najdorf real fast. I don't know, man. Maybe Roman made that up. I don't know Roman as someone who would like make stuff up, though. I mean, he always told the truth, more or less, as far as like anecdotes and stuff go. He wasn't like the kind of person to make shit up completely. Although I never heard that story verified anywhere else. I didn't ask Brown about it. But Roman's take was that he was tired of Brown like always coming late every round. So he did it to like teach him a lesson. Like d4. How's my rook's driving? How's my control of the center? Okay. Let's have a central control of the board contest. A dance-off. I hate that I tell the same stories over and over again, but you never know like who's heard the story and who hasn't. That's the problem. I know Asterbane and Mr. Coffee know the story. I guess it was like when Roman immigrated to the United States, he played for the U.S. Olympic team. So maybe Brown and he were on the same Olympic team in the late 70s or around 1980. I guess it would have been 80, maybe 80, 82, something like that. Whenever there was an Olympiad in the early 80s. We're having the Hungarian, I don't know if there's ever been an Olympiad in Hungary. We're having the Olympiad here next year. in 2024. Orban wants to get the Olympics in Budapest. There was a World Athletics here just now, and it was considered quite good by the fans and players, I guess. So it went off pretty well. But I don't know about Olympics. It's typical for countries with a lot of corruption to want to get the Olympics. I guess all countries, but it's expensive, you know. I'd imagine that hosting the Olympics could actually lose money. It's like tricky business. So now what do? We fix our pawns. Pawn takes. You can't trap my rook. My rook has tons of mobility. And I'll sacrifice it anyway. That was the idea in Shirov Williams, and I've done it a lot where I sack my rook on d5. In your face! It reminds me of the Petrov, honestly. A lot of corruption was reported in the Olympics. Imagine that. Corruption in a really, really, really premier sporting event. Sports were created for corruption. They say that, let's see, rook e5 was the plan. My rook really likely might get trapped there. Is this any time to bail out and be afraid? I don't know. I'm going to put the rook on e5 and make it work. If I have to sack the exchange, I'll do that. Queen h5. No, he wouldn't fall for that. So he's threatening to trap my rook with bishop d6 or bishop f6. It's never too late to play rook a5, huh? We specialize in corruption here. My dad told me a story about a player's d-pawn getting nailed to the board. Could be a different version of that. Yeah, maybe it was inspired by that. Yeah, Roman's story was gluing down the a6, you know, the a pawn for black in the Najdorf, because it was like guaranteed his opponent was an open player, an open Sicilian player with white, and Roman knew for sure if the opponent is an open Sicilian player with white and brown is black, like the a pawn is guaranteed to be like played on move 6. It was a really good bet. That would be one of the first 10 moves. So the board would go flying. You know, I mean, I imagine it was one of those, I'm not sure, but I imagine it was those like vinyl boards. Late 70s, early 80s, they had to already have the vinyl sort of chessboards, no? If it was a wood board, it would be trickier, because it depends on how heavy it is. But if it's like the vinyl board or whatever, with like, even with wood pieces, they would like go all over the place. Well, if it's just some random vinyl board, you know, nobody cares about a vinyl board. But if it was like a wood board, yeah, it couldn't have been a wood. It must have been a vinyl board. Although I'm not sure for sure. So bishop f4, h4, we could sack the exchange. It doesn't seem right though. I feel kind of bad about doing this. I'm chickening out here. But anyway, ranging rooks. I speak about Roman a lot because he did influence me, but only in mostly good ways. Yeah, but finally his behavior was what triggered our divorce. He's difficult to get along with. Still alive though. He's hanging in there. I don't know. No, I think all the people who helped me to become an I am. Black is really coming back, man. Looks like Black took over the initiative here. He's got the king side. You know, I could have sacked the exchange, and I didn't because it felt like it was unnecessary and like fancy, overly fancy. I don't know if that's the case or not. F4. F4, Queen E4. He's got this problem. If he pushes F4, fine, but, you know, he'll lose his central pawn. Not so easy, is it? Now what am I going to do? Rook B6. This is getting a little awkward. Shirov would be sad. Yeah, Shirov beat Simon Williams. Not a big accomplishment for him, of course. I mean, Simon Williams is not bad, but he's basically very average strength for a grandmaster. Yeah. Black's played well, though. He really has good coordination. Here we go with the exchange sack. B5 bothered me a little bit. Unfortunately, this is not defended. He's traded off my bad bishop for his good bishop. We'll take it. My Sharona. So what am I doing? With that move. He can play F4. There's no going back, though, if you do that. Maybe I should sack the exchange. There's a concept, sacking the exchange. I mean, Black needs more pawns. The problem with the Dutch is, like, I always argue that, like, your rook endgame is lost. Like, all rook games are lost in the Dutch because you, like, played F5 and, like, weakened your 7th rank. So the good thing about playing the Dutch is, like, you don't have to know how to play, like, rook in games. There's no need for that. Do you have C5 here? That's what G South said. Always go forward. We got him now. Not fully, but good enough for me, for my purposes. Yeah, too many weaknesses. He's caving. Caving in. Dutch is an easy opening to play. Uh-oh. We were doing X-ray tactics earlier. What could possibly go wrong? So you're not dead. Morales would like this. Oh man. That's why we needed G4, right? Prophylaxis against this escapements. I only play for fun. Just a minor technical problem. How is this game? How's the opening? Queen C2, takes. Dingley Brown versus Craft Sieve. Wow. Gawain Jones taking up the Simon Williams gauntlet at one point there. Black has a lot of wins there. Finally, when you get down to the 2500 level, there's a couple wins for Black. Yeah, E4, I mean, E4 is what I've played in the past. So this is the first time I played this move. Let's see how good it is. I mean, we're tying Black down to B7. Now the computer wants to play E3. I don't like E3. But my move is probably nothing either. Or either. The engine doesn't like it at all, in fact. So he played like perfectly. Wow. And now C6 is a mistake. I mean, I don't know. Like, I could sack the exchange. Say bishop B6, rook takes B7. Couldn't I sack an exchange here? Bishop D5, pawn D5. Yeah, this is too... I'm too, like, spatially shut down, though. I don't have enough... Allowing this E4 gives him too much ground. B6 in black is slightly better. Okay, so this line was kind of a fail. Interesting. Fighting banana 7 plus 5. Rachel Matthew, no. Alright, let's go. Banana fighting. Fighting with bananas. Yeah. Well, as usual, I had to defend to win. I just wanted to try that. I've never played, you know, rook b1 in that position before, and I realized, like, exchanging pawns is bad. Theoretically. Thanks to the game, it wasn't a complete waste of my time. No, the first game was a waste of my time where it was 10-0. But no, of course not. I mean, you played well. You were better. Thudoros. No, that line is isn't good enough for white. I need another variation. What is knight f3? This is a very rare move. So it doesn't cover the pawn. There's a weird sound because it's coming from outside. Or maybe my neighbors are vacuuming or something. That must be what it is. Alright, knight f3. So knight b3 is normal. Why is knight f3 not good? If I play, let's say, knight f6, you play knight c3, I play e6, and now I'm threatening stuff? Like, am I threatening stuff? Are you threatening me? So worst case scenario, we end up with like a Skaveningen, where white has played knight f3 to d4 back to f3. Yeah. It's like a Mora gambit where white has a c pawn or something. What is this variation called? Godiva variation? I think they call it the Godiva variation. I don't know why. I remember there was this guy from New Hampshire, like Kevin Coutreau, who was like 2200, and he got into this argument with like not Cotronius, with a Greek grandmaster who he named it after himself. There was like this like editorial argument on letters to the editor in New in Chess. What's his name? What is the name of the grandmaster who like played this variation with black? I'm like really having memory loss here. Does anybody remember? He's not a high-rated GM. He was like 2,500, but he did a lot for this variation, and then he like called it the. What is his name? I'm really good with Greek names, but it's not even a long name, you know. There's no excuse for me not to remember other than my dementia. Fighting Banana is a practical player. In the spirit of practical players everywhere. Theoretically, I could play knight h5. Do I really want to do that? Maybe Fighting Banana should just play the Mora Gambit instead of the Open Sicilian. Have you considered that? Fighting Banana? Jess, Greek GMs. No. Man, what's wrong with me? God damn. I don't like the Mora Gambit. I think it's a waste of the white pieces, but there are other things that are also a waste of the white pieces, so like the London system. I mean, I think it's good to a point, and then you need to stop. It's good as an introductory sort of thing against the Sicilian. Once you become like an international master, yeah, Grivas, of course. Okay, so it's Grivas. Grivas did the most to promote this variation back in the early 90s. Yeah, Grivas. I hadn't said his name in a long time. He's not. I never played him. I'm not sure we played in the same tournament even, ever. He had played in Hungary before, but I think I wasn't here when he played years ago. But he called it the Grivas. He wrote a book on it, you know, on Queen B6. He called it the Grivas variation, and this sort of dick, really obnoxious guy, Kevin, wrote into New in Chess, you know, trying to dispute the fact that he named it after himself or something. And then Grivas, like, just went postal. He, like, lost it on the guy. There was, like, a battle back and forth. I felt like Rivas won the battle, you know, with this like idiot sort of troll. The kind of guy who would probably like post in the forums constantly. He's like forcing Grievous to defend himself, this random noob. Defend himself about naming the variation after himself. Yeah, obviously he knows he wasn't the first person who ever played it. But, you know, he's the player who did the most to develop it, for sure. So I think it's fair enough for him to like name the variation after himself. It's not unreasonable. Yeah, that's the old way of trolling. That's what people who troll bulletin boards and forums now used to do. Fighting Banana, though, shows very reasonable play here. He handled the opening like poorly, though. I mean, White didn't get any kind of advantage. You feel convicted. Uh-oh. What does that mean? This is you? Think O.J. Simpson. Thoughts? I don't know, man. Convicted of playing the Mara Gambit. You can't be. You're not the Fighting Banana, right? Who's better? Blake playing a very positional type of game now. He's happy with his little like queenside majority. I'll be right back. Sometimes I would get this type of structure in the classical Nimzo. But objectively, maybe White should keep the pieces on there. I mean, this is a good exchange for Black. Convicted. The only thing convicted in this position is the White square bishop. White's White square bishop is convicted of being a bad bishop. But maybe his queenside majority will save him. Now, which way do I take? Baby aspirin? That's all I got. I don't know. Vitamin water and baby aspirin. Sure to cure the headache. Alright. So, rook e3. Well, at least my king is safe. Aspirin won't do you any good. Well, it does help in case of like a, clogged artery or something. Hopefully. It might help my blood flow a little bit. It's not recommended if you're like a hemophiliac. I mean, I know aspirin is like overrated, but there still are some some health benefits. Yeah, Fighting Banana is just going with the flow. I know this because I dealt with doctors who dealt with people with heart conditions. and other relatives who had heart conditions. You're really going to argue about the effectiveness of aspirin with me on my stream? Why don't we just debate like these so science? Astrophysics or something. The model of the cosmos. The cosmotic model. You know, they think that the physics model of the cosmos is possibly like totally flawed. Now, we don't understand astrophysics in the universe at all. Our entire the entire model may be wrong. Things just don't add up. I was reading about this today. They keep trying to patch up the model of astrophysics, and it just keeps getting more and more holes punched in it. But anyway, is black better because of the, yeah, I think so. Bishop health. Your bishop needs food badly. Wow, I can play bishop takes e4 here. Is that a problem? That's the end of the cosmos for white anyway. Plus I have an evacuation route, the coastal evacuation route. Gauntlet, yeah, did we talk about this before? Valkyrie. Valkyrie is dying. Needs food. I used to hang out with Mr. Coffee at the bowling alley. Yeah, Mr. Coffee, did I mention that before? That's where I used to play Gauntlet, at the bowling alley. Now that we mention it. Yeah, that was the best game ever from the 80s. But it was expensive. You had pay a shitload to play with 4 players. Oh, material. How's my king and pawn in game? Is it good enough? Wow. H5 is a funky move now. Is that a good move, master? Not sure. Maybe I made an error. He could have taken with the rook. Okay, I'm up a piece here, obviously. Not really an issue. Queen g6 good there? Yeah, probably. Fighting banana. Is all out of bananas. What was up this opening? I mean, people just don't play knight f3. It's just not a move. And it might not be that bad. Look at that. Augusto Caruso versus Chom Istvan. This random guy beat Chom back in 2000 when he was still pretty strong. Okay, nothing special. Yeah, Chom wasn't that strong then. He was already getting old. This one of the only wins, though. But it's significant because Chom is the expert in this B6 Sicilians and offbeat stuff. He died 2 years ago. So he lost this position as well. Yeah, this is weird. Oh, I played queen c7 here unprovoked. But the d6 seems like unnecessary. On the other hand, queen c7 was weird by me. I don't know why I did that. Like, no, oh, I was afraid of e5. That's what it was. No, I did this for a reason. And the people that played d6, you know, did it for a reason as well. So this is the question. Is queen c7 bad because of knight b5? Is there another way to play this line? I thought about playing g6 anyway. I mean, I can. There's nothing wrong with it. I've been doing that lately. But, queen e2. Well, knight b5 right away is actually good. Oh, no. What's the point? Is he going to play c4? He can't. Okay, so I should just play a6 next time, but what do I do on e5? I have double attack, white has double defend. This is what I didn't understand. I thought this would be, like, better for white. That's weird. So these people who played d6 understood what they were doing. Whatever happened to Alexander Golashapov? The Sicilian is good. Alright. Hey, Miro. Hey, Miro. Hey, Miro. Hey, it's Miro. Sicilian is bad for heart. Yeah, I guess, to some degree. But I feel like just playing black is bad for your heart. To be honest with you, G-Sots, d4 is... Well, if e4 is bad for your heart, then d4 is, like, bad for your soul. I'm just, like, getting crushed by these, like, soulless grandmasters who play d4 every time. That's all they do, man. Every single time. Every single time. Grandmaster, d4. Dead. Grandmaster, d4. I'm dead. The last grandmaster who tried to play e4 against me was, like... It was Nevednichi, and he couldn't get anything. You know? It's so funny. Like, the last 6 grandmasters who played d4 against me beat me. And the last grandmasters who played e4 couldn't get anything. d4 is just better than e4. Alright. People just don't understand this. Especially on the internet. Every single time I would prepare for an e4 player and then get to play someone who played freaking d4. I literally lost like 6 grandmasters in a row where they played d4. It's really bad. The wine is kicked in. Oh, you have wine. I haven't drank any wine in a long time. I'm trying to increase my collection. Yeah, G. Souths was just recommending red wine. The scientific studies have been inconsistent on that. The health benefits of drinking wine. One day they're like, oh, it's really good for your heart to drink a little wine. The next day, like, no, it's bad for you. Then the next study comes out and it's good for you again. It's hard to know who to believe. There's no question that alcohol is bad for you. It's the other ingredients in wine that might have some health benefits. Alright, rookie 1. You're going to play the Marshall again? Dude, aspartame just... Yeah. I don't know, man. Just, yeah. Wine has got to be more healthy than aspartame. I always had this, like, deep-seated distrust for artificial sweeteners. Remember when I was... Well, you guys don't remember. when we were young, like Sweet and Low was the big. I don't know what it's called chemically, but the commercial brand of Sweet and Low was the big thing, and everyone claimed it like causes cancer. I like how they sued Johnson & Johnson for the talcum powder cancer thing. And I'll never forget my aunt who lived to like 90, like swore by that stuff. So if it caused cancer, then why did she live until 90? Yeah, I guess it's just good genetics. We have good genetics in my family. She was lucky. Sweet low saccharin. Dude, aspartame is deadly, man. It gives me, yeah. No, it's not good for the digestive system. Even if I eat just a little bit, like a little bowl of ice cream or whatever, I just don't eat that stuff anymore. Yeah, it's bad for you. If you need to have like a colonoscopy, I highly recommend it. You know, don't even take what the doctor recommends. Well, D5, here we go again. Is there any way to get you to not play D5? Too bad Bob's not here to discuss like colonoscopies. So I can transpose. Knight takes D5, knight takes... Do we transpose? What's the deal with this? Or do you play something different, like bishop b7 here? You could play bishop b7. Hey, Astrobate, aren't you going to the Burning Man festival? That's crazy, dude. There's like floods at Burning Man festival. Was that from like the hurricane that you guys had before? Crazy weather. Flooding in Nevada. Astrobate's not like a new age A-lister. He did play bishop b7, as expected. How's my development coming along? I'm gonna play this. It's a Vienna, right? Well, I don't know, man. I don't think we had this before. I'm thinking anything was different. L Streets. The streets of San Francisco. All right, guys. So we've got another half an hour in the tank here. We got time for a couple more challenges. Heroku Chess Video World. Don't forget to subscribe. Bangtown, California, gifting 5 subs. Take the gift lead this week. I guess I'm gonna give up on streaming on Kick. It's just no following over there for chess. I did notice, like, surprisingly, Amaranth was streaming on Twitch after this big thing about not being respected on Twitch. She's back on Twitch. That's weird. But I mean, seriously, I'm not gonna start, but bishop d6 is a good move. I'm afraid Kick will be a fail. Not just me, but everybody. But it was worth a try. But seriously, maybe they'll at least like force Twitch to give better conditions to content creators. Maybe there'll be a positive net result from it. Yeah, I'm skeptical now. I mean, Hikaru just imported his viewers over there, and I'm sure Amaranth did the same thing. But at the end of the day, it's hard to trust it will hold up. I don't think so. We try. It's haunted by this gambling connection to gambling. I don't know if they'll be able to shake that. Alright. But anyway, I think I'll still do like one stream a week on Kick just to keep it going for the sake of that. Guys, please support the stream and donate to our World Senior. It's only 50 days to the World Senior approximately. I had my warm-up tournament last week. Didn't go great, but I think there's still some vast room for improvement. I'm almost playing Queen G4. See, that's my biggest enemy, really. What's your biggest enemy, Sladgie? Let's ask another question. Does anybody want to answer this? Who's my biggest enemy? Seriously. Who's my biggest enemy? Who's the anti-Sladgie? Very good. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm my biggest enemy. When I lose, it's always like, actually, Mr. Slow brought this up yesterday, but when he loses, he said, you know, as usual, I went too far and I got overconfident. He made this comment during losing a simul game to me yesterday. It's the same with me. I lost a game last week in my tournament or 2 weeks ago because it was the first round, and as soon as I got like a good position, immediately I got overconfident. And as soon as I got overconfident, I started like a series of blunders. Queen f6 was the one move I was afraid of here. He has two angles to try to like get into. But actually, there's a third problem along the E file. I mean, I guess he could try for b4. What's my threat? What do you menace here? Alright, we're going to play Queen G4. That's my friend Alex Meneas. Romanian, French. Romanian, French, English. What do you menace? I like it though. It sums up like the way you should be thinking when the opponent makes moves. I am my biggest enemy, not Eric Rosen, definitely. Not Tennis Man. The chess joker, as he likes to think of himself. But me, you know, I am my enemy. What am I doing? Queen e4 doesn't work. Queen g5 looks interesting. If I would stop like being overconfident, I have like this chess bipolarism. I'm either like not confident enough or overconfident. It's really hard to find like a middle ground, you know, for me. I always lose the first round of every tournament. not to take credit away from my opponent who played pretty well, but I came out of the gate with a good position, virtually no losing chances, and I lost. It's just a very dangerous place to be mentally when you're like overconfident. In fact, like the worst thing you can ever think is like, oh, you know, what could possibly go wrong? Or, you know, even worse yet, to not think about the fact that things can go wrong. Things can always go wrong. How about we just use that as our credo? Even the most innocuous position where you're, you know, the most dangerous place to be is like when you don't think about the possibility of losing. If that like stops to enter your mind, not that you should be paranoid all the time, but at least realize you're playing a game where you can still lose, even if you're like clearly better. A3 or A4, they're both bad. You need to be confident about something else. Yeah, that's a good idea. But just don't forget, the game isn't over till it's over. The fat lady expression in English we go by, it's not politically correct, but I love the way he played that. It felt powerful and fast. Rook E7, Bishop E7. Right. No, you shouldn't gain confidence if your opponent hangs a queen. But what pissed me off was like my student the other day. It really like bothers me. One of my students was like, I was playing for a draw against my opponent because he was 2200. I was like, what? For me, like 2200s are noobs, and they need to, you know, be tortured at a very minimum. I mean, I lose to them sometimes, but mostly I'm playing for the win every single time. I might lose here and there, but I should win a lot more than I lose. They're not scary. They shouldn't be scary. If you played IMs and GMs and training games, it's important not to be like afraid. You have to be confident to the point where you're definitely not afraid. You have respect for the opponent, but you're not afraid of them. You know, I think that's the best place to be psychologically. Look at that. I'm like setting up Bishop E6 for him here. Respect the opponent without fearing them. Oh, F3. F3, Bishop D7. It's perfect. Damn, I could sack the exchange. This is crazy. Alright, whatever. We're just gonna do something random. That's good. Right? Right. Well, let's just do something random. He is confused. I'm confused. He's confused. We're both confused. Undouble your pawns. What could possibly go wrong? It's rare that I play a game against Miro where he didn't get some kind of crazy complications and scary counterplay going on. That's defended. Oh my god. I didn't even know it was defended. That's so sick, man. Unbelievable. Holy shit. I thought it was game over. I was winning the exchange. Talk about overconfident. See? It's a perfect illustration of being overconfident. What just happened there? I'm thinking it's game over, and he's like, this is not game over at all. I'm one pawn up. Centralize. Remember to centralize your bishops. You don't dig that. I like those bishops though. There was this Romanian grandmaster who wanted to get me into the snake oil business, and then he died of cancer right after that. Romanian, I am. I thought that was rather odd. Coincidence? C6 is too weak. Maybe you got the board backwards. Your C6 is some people's F6. Not sure if I should have played H4 there objectively. I'm not sure what that does. I'm not sure if it really helps me or not. Oh no! Got me. C5, is my bishop trapped yet? Let's make sure it doesn't have anywhere to go. I need more mobility. Give me mobility or give me death. What are you doing over there? He's gonna make a break for it now. Yes, yes. How about... Oh! You don't want to play king and pawn endgame. I thought you did. My mistake. I thought you wanted the king and pawn endgame. He's just getting warmed up now. Objectively, C3 probably not the greatest move ever. You didn't play that, what I thought you would play there. Oh, you've got bishop d6. Oh my god. Not a difficult move to find here. What? Dude, you had to play c5. That's crazy, brah. He didn't play c5. Why? There might be like a remote chance you can still save the game there. No? Let me just see. Is there any small chance he could still save the game here? If he doesn't, he does c5. c5 only move. Yeah, I mean, obviously bishop b5. But, I still can't win the pawn. I mean, d3 is hanging, so he needs a waiting move. let's say king g7, d4, cd4, cd4, king f6. Oh, he's just gonna say, I'm gonna just take the pawn. No, you gotta play bishop. Okay, bishop c2. Take, bishop c2. It's over anyway. Okay, you were too lost anyway. Yeah, what happened in the opening there, bro? You're not supposed to do this. I know you don't like to listen to me. Hannes Olafsson? That's got to be a correspondence game. The other Icelandic Olafsson, no. Yeah, this isn't gonna fly. Is this really flying, bro? You just don't have the right to play this. Don't have the right to play it. There's no games. No games. That's insane. Okay, if we go to the Lichess Opening Explorer. Wow, Palach played it against Yoshi in 2016. Either Austrian or Hungarian league. Let's see. Oh, he played c6 and Yoshi played d4. And they transposed. This has the smell of like it's a prearranged draw. Alright. Yeah, it had the smell of a prearranged draw. Oh, that's sus. Okay, so imagine that. Yeah, I mean, Yoshi doesn't even play e4, dude. That's weird. That's super sus. Super sus Grandmaster draw. Yeah, you're not supposed to do this. Wow. Bishop b7, theoretical novelty. Possibly the best move. You know, I looked at this. That was my first thought when I thought about this position. Cryogenic freezer. Maybe that's the problem. Like, you have to play c6 anyway now? I mean, it is playable for black. It is playable. It is. This truss. Bishop f6, rook f5. That's a cool position. Knight takes c3, now what? B takes c, bishop takes pawn, rook f7. Hello. Anyway, if you want to play this, you're going to have to do some more homework. Queen f3, c6, knight c3, bishop f6, rook f5, the Hayes mirror variation, and then, of course, bishop c8. Now I sack the exchange. We get a theoretically interesting position, 2 pawns for the exchange. Okay. Onward and upward, Heroku. Put it in the fridge. You can't fit elephants in the fridge. They're talking about bringing woolly mammoths back to life, really, with like global warming. I mean, does that make sense? Shouldn't we be resurrecting like warm climate animals or something? Is woolly mammoths really a practical thing to resurrect? Why don't we resurrect some more why not saber-toothed tigers? I mean, all right. Last game for today, guys. Do your worst. I still don't think you can fit an elephant in the fridge. Okay. Well, you avoided my queen b6. Voided. The void. Void walker. Aha. No, Roman bishop takes c3, of course. But the follow-up of d5, I had a game like that yesterday. Take, but the queen was on b6. I don't subscribe to d5 controversy. Roman's line, bishop d3. This is bad. This is bad. This is your brain on chess. Interesting though. Okay, bishop b2. Interesting approach. If I take pawn and then what do I do? I go back. You can take it. Practically, this is black's best approach, I think. Just take and go back. You can put it in the fridge. Are you going to play g4? I also have queen b6. Dude, you didn't do c4. Who would have thought it? You were supposed to play c4. I want to see like bullet chess between Heroku and Acerbate. Who can play the best, like just playing with intuition and no calculation really fast. Exacerbates my problem. c4 just exacerbates. d5 just exacerbates my problem. Alright, fine. You know, I'll just go back anyway. I was gonna go back anyway, so what's the difference? I mean, congratulations on almost equalizing with white. You might as well play the Mora. Put your elephant in the fridge. Well, there's really no reason for me to castle until you castle, I would say. You castle, I castle. Because for all I know, you're going to like castle queenside or something. Please don't take my knight. Yeah, now we just like... we just win. g4. What about h5? How do you guys feel? Mr. Coffee, is he at the hotel restaurant now? How do you feel about h5 for black here? Maybe g5. g5. That was too risky. Where are you going to go? Bishop e6. And if g4, I'll play h6. Okay, we'll compromise. g4, h6. My opponent proposes a take back. You like queen b6? Oh. Yeah, but I mean, he's going to castle queenside then. But it's interesting. Okay, I didn't think about it there. Now I can castle kingside with more relative safety. Relative being the active word. Check might be a good move anyway. You put this idea in my head, man. People, you should be like a Republican strategist or something. I mean, you're putting ideas in my head. Queen b6. You should be a conspiracy theorist. What ends up happening is when people say a move, then I like find myself like obligated to play it. Thank God he played c5 though. If he's gonna play c5, that's the move that killed me against the little Italian kid last tournament. The c5 break against my queen b6 provocation. Walked right into it. I impaled myself on my own petard or whatever. Seriously, what is a petard? John Luke Petard. Gufeld would have not approved my approach. That's funny, dude, because did I tell you about that? You know I beat Gufeld using queen b6 in the Sicilian. Oh, you mean like bishop takes c3? I had a better... I told you about Gufeld, but I didn't remember what details I told you. We played twice. Once he almost beat me. I'll just leave it at that. That was a great game. I actually showed my game with Gufeld long ago on the stream. Were you there? I found my old score against Gufeld. Now I don't know where it is. I think it's in the study somewhere, maybe. One of my really old one. The more modern one I can't find. Because the guy wanted my Gufeld game, where I beat him. And it's in the storage unit somewhere. It's in the fridge. I didn't know Eddie too well, but he was a controversial character, Nefedov. But it is cool that I've gotten to play some interesting people. I think you shouldn't be allowed to play. You shouldn't be allowed to get like the international grandmaster title if you've never played outside your own country. I was really thinking about this. What do you guys think about that? I get it, like they get the title because people from other countries are in tournaments, but there's some players who like have never left the United States and they're like international grandmasters. That doesn't seem right to me, you know. I mean, part of the game is like going to other places, meeting interesting people. How can you be an international grandmaster if you've never left the United States? I mean, that's bullshit, man. Just picking the United States. I'm sure there's other countries now. What's up, man? My big thing is that I've gotten to play all kinds of interesting people. I haven't even played that extensively outside of the United States. To be honest, Hungary, Australia, a handful of tournaments in Europe, the UK. But not that much. It's not like I'm asking that much, but it's just so weird that there's like these 25-year-old guys, I'm not going to name any names, who are getting the GM titles and they've almost never played a single tournament outside of the US. That's so weird. It was never possible in the old days. You couldn't have an international tournament more than once a year that would qualify for a GM norm. Wow. Heroic. Yeah, well, even that's enough, Acerbate. Right. Well, that would be like a typical GM tournament back in the old days. You could get a Canadian, a Mexican. It sounds like a bad joke, Acerbate. Am I going to get mated? You could have gone for h6, but he went for a1 instead. That's a really bad decision. Poor Heroku. He's on the same wavelength as Acerbate. He's just all about doing crazy stuff really fast. And he has talent, too. Well, you need 3 countries represented? 4. So Canada, Mexico, US wouldn't be enough. Let's say for a 10-player tournament. Well, it's hard to get Cubans that aren't already immigrated. The Cubans aren't real thrilled about letting people go to the United States, although they used to be allowed to go to Canada. They could play... The Cuban Grandmasters always would play like the Canadian Open and stuff. It was weird. It was kind of weird. Speed like chess. All right, one last game. I just was thinking about it because there was this guy streaming who's a GM. He's like young, under 30. Never played any tournament I ever saw, and he's like streaming online, and I'm thinking like, this guy is a grandmaster, but he has no chess culture. You know, it's weird. How can you be a grandmaster if you have no chess culture at all? You're just like this robot. You're just like a robot. I mean, you're not even grandmaster only in technical terms. You've never played any famous players. You've never won any tournaments. You never played anyone. You just made the qualifications for the GM title very narrowly in a very narrow kind of way. It's weird. All right, dude, I'm out of here. Anyway, we're out. Time to go. It was great. I'll see you guys Tuesday tournament. He had his chance. Noise suppression. Now it's time to talk about noise suppression. Or send me a message. Brazil, Argentina. Alright guys, thanks everybody. Good luck to Mr. Coffee in the New Jersey Open. And I'll see you guys for Rapid Tournament tomorrow night. Bye everybody, thanks for your support. Thanks to Bangtown, California. Yeah, Tuesday. Street Fighter. I live down the street from Street Fighter. If you ever want to play, I'll take you over there. Alright, bye-bye.